In the late 1940s, Russian researchers conducted sleep experiments lasting 15 days on 5 political prisoners they had captured during World War II. The purpose of the experiment was to keep the subjects awake by administering stimulating gases in rooms where the oxygen levels were kept constant and observe changes in their behavior. The subjects were placed in a room with enough food and water for the duration of the experiment, and they were monitored with microphones while being observed through observation windows no larger than 5 inches. The room contained only books, beds, and a toilet, with no other items. Everything was fine for the first 5 days. Although the subjects were told that they would be released at the end of the study, by the 5th day, they began to question the researchers and complain about the conditions. They stopped talking to each other and began whispering into the microphones. Researchers attributed this to a side effect of the gas. On the 9th day, one of the subjects started screaming. After screaming for 3 hours, the researchers noticed that their voice had become hoarse, suggesting possible damage to the vocal cords. The other subjects continued to whisper into the microphones without any response. Another subject started screaming a few hours later. In response, the other subjects began tearing apart books in the room, smearing pages on the observation windows. The screams then stopped. There was silence in the room for 3 days. Researchers decided to enter the room on the 14th day to check the microphones. When they announced that the doors would be opened, they received the response, "We don't want to be free anymore." The military decided to evacuate the experimental room. When the soldiers entered, they were shocked by almost none of the food in the room had been touched. One subject had died and was lying on the drain, creating a 4-inch high pool of blood due to a clogged drain. The other subjects were screaming uncontrollably. Their bodies were mutilated, with severe damage to the skin on their abdomens, revealing internal organs. They resisted the soldiers trying to get them out of the room. In the chaos, one subject's spleen burst, causing his death. 3 other subjects, who had injured a soldier's throat and severed another's testicles, were taken to medical facilities for treatment. However, they resisted anesthesia, demanding gas to stay awake. After being operated on without anesthesia, they were returned to their rooms to receive gas again. They calmed down upon learning that gas would be administered. One subject fell asleep during this time and died upon waking up. Authorities concluded that the experiment had deviated from its purpose, and the researchers were to be punished by being locked up with the subjects. When the researchers reached the section where the subjects were, they killed them and then committed suicide. The words spoken by one of the subjects before dying were extremely disturbing. "Did you forget so easily? We are you. We are the madness that lurks within you, begging to be freed from your animal instincts. We are the monsters that hide under your beds